Hi, I'm Dwight from Robust Spectrum Outdoors, and today I'm going to be reviewing different types of broadheads for hunting, because as we know, it's beginning to get into the hunting season here in a couple of months, so we're going to be out and about pre-season to test some different broadheads. The three broadhead types we're going to be testing today is going to be the Annihilator broadhead, a fixed blade 100 grain broadhead, a G5 Deadmeat mechanical broadhead, and finally the Muzzy Trocar broadhead. We'll see how the three compare. These are the three that are pretty popular. I'm going to test them out and see how they fly and compare downrange at 40 yards. The arrow today I'm going to be shooting is going to be an Axis, Easton Axis 5mm match grade Pro Series arrow. I fletch these with blazer fletchings. I do all my fletchings myself, and so it's a pretty good arrow, smaller diameter. It should stabilize the broadheads just fine at 40 yards. First up, we're just going to be shooting a regular field tip arrow. At the top left white circle, just to get an idea of the flight itself, just of a field point. Okay, 40 yards, field tip. Was in the circle, just to the left, it's fine. As long as I'm hitting in here, that's going to be what your field points are going to be doing. Okay, second we're going to shoot the Annihilator broadhead. We'll shoot this at the top right white circle. Alright, so field point, Annihilator broadhead. 40 yards, went about the same up and down, right in the center there. So it flew pretty much the same. Next up we're going to shoot the G5 broadhead by Deadmeat. It's going to be a mechanical broadhead, so it should fly a little bit technically just like our field point. Alright, so there is the Deadmeat by G5, right? It's pretty much very similar. Alright, and finally, last but not least, the Muzzy Trocar broadhead. This is going to be a fixed blade broadhead, 100 grain. We're going to be aiming at the center circle on this one. And there's the Muzzy Trocar. My bow did not seem to like that as well. I did see it kind of spiraling off a little bit. What I'm going to do is go and pull this one out. I'm going to shoot it again just to make sure it's the broadhead and not me. Alright, I'm going to try this again here with the Muzzy Trocar broadhead to make sure it wasn't just me on that last shot. Alright, so there you have it. That one felt a little better. However, though, it's spinning to the right. So here's the field point. Was our first shot. Second shot is the Annihilator broadhead, which just went a little bit low, but about the very same as a field point. Second, we shot the Deadmeat by G5, and it shot very well as well. And then we shot the Muzzy Trocar, which put us up over here somewhere, and we shot again. It still put us a little right. I'm noticing it's pushing right for some reason in this broadhead, but the Annihilator and the G5 Deadmeat mechanical shot really well. If you're looking at penetration, at least through the block target, the Annihilator broadhead by far had the best penetration, followed by the Muzzy Trocar and then the mechanical G5 Deadmeat. This one just really punched through. Pretty much eliminated the Muzzy Trocar out of it. I'm going to take the Annihilator broadhead and the G5 Deadmeat broadhead at 60 yards. Okay, 60 yards. I just shot two field tips at the center white circle to my block target. I want to show you where those are at so we can pinpoint where the next two are. I've got one fairly close to center and one off to the left just a tad. Those will be our control for the next two. Next we're going to shoot the G5 Deadmeat broadhead. This is the practice tip. It should fly the same as the Deadmeat, just saves our Deadmeat broadhead a little bit. I shot the Annihilator at 60 yards, then the G5 Deadmeat practice tip at 60 yards, and then I did another field tip just to have another one of control to reference it to. So let's see the results. Okay, so this is a field tip. This one here's a field tip. This one's here is a field tip. And this one here is a field tip, and I'm aiming at the center circle. As you see, just a little bit low, this is the Annihilator, and then this is the G5 Deadmeat. Still very close to what I'm aiming at here with my field tips. I'd say that's me more than the broadhead itself, going a little bit to the right. But overall, I'd say really well. I'd say the Annihilator performed a little bit better. I am going to shoot the Annihilator and the G5 again. Okay, so I just shot another round. You see here, this is a field tip. This is a field tip. This one right here is the Annihilator broadhead. This is the practice tip for the G5 Deadmeat, and this is a field point. Went ahead and shot 3 more. This one's the Broadhead, or sorry, this one, the middle one's the field tip. This one's the Annihilator, and then this one is the G5 Deadmeat. So they're still 60 yards, still pretty close. I'd say the farther you get, with Broadheads, is you're just going to have a little more drift, a little more drag than a field point. It's going to slow it down a little bit more, but overall, pretty well for either of them. I'd say work really well. Coming down to recommendation time, and what I would recommend is, it really kind of surprised me. I would say go out and test your Broadheads, be it mechanical or fixed, and see how they react to your bow. I think it comes down to having a well-tuned bow, and fletching also lined up with the blades as well helps, but I think it just reacts to your bow and what your bow likes. It's like a bullet with a gun. You get out there, try a handful of different ones. I know they're expensive, so you can't try a different ton of them, but here we picked 3. I feel like those are fairly popular 3. And I'm going to stick with the Annihilator mixed in with that G5 Deadmeat and do some more testing and see how it goes with those two. But my bows seem to react and shoot those two very, very well.